I could be anything, probably a leopard. I think it's an all-rounded animal. It feels like it's an equivalent, I would call it an equivalent of a Navy SEAL. It can jump very high. It can stay underwater for about 2 minutes. And on land, it's still an apex predator. I'm Joseph Otiende, commonly known as Jose. The profession I'm into, I would call it creative arts, more so the likes of shooting, editing, photography. I would say it's a bonus. I love it. And if I was told to choose, I would choose videography. But I think I have mastered the art of it. How I got into the creative space, I think my interest came when the music industry in Kenya was growing. And you would see music videos happening and you'd wonder, wow, how did they shoot this? I mean, the music industry took Kenya by storm. We had music, but it developed into the genge, kapuka, and the various genres. So looking at the music videos, you're thinking, wow, this is interesting. This is interesting. Who has done a music video? And my interest came from that. And then slowly by slowly, I wanted to do it as I was in school. So when I completed school, I pursued that. I started with mass communication and then specified into TV and film production. I think I wouldn't have a specific song, but I would generalize the likes of Jim Watt, under 18, the storytelling, and just look at the music video and the way people are having fun. I got the opportunity. I wouldn't call it an opportunity. I would say Ken Rezi has been a friend, and I was on set for his Teachy music video shoot. So I saw what was happening behind the scenes, still fueled my interest. I have a couple of memorable projects, and I would talk about a project I've recently done. It's by RIS Africa, a South African organization. They support startup businesses and they deal with space technology. So shooting that and learning about the space, a lot of things that we don't know, especially the fact that people call them shooting stars, but they are actually not shooting stars. They are not stars. They are actually garbage that burn up in the space. And when they leave the orbit and they are falling on Earth, they burn up in the process. So they are not actually shooting stars. Yeah, I know. I was as shocked as you. The low moments I've experienced in the craft on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if you're 10 years into the game, 5 years, 2 years into the game. On a daily basis, you wake up feeling like quitting, but you just have to push. I would say if it wasn't for the passion, I would have quit a long time ago. Because on a daily basis, you wake up, there are deadlines, you hit a creative block, and the client wants their project, and you feel as if you deliver while you're in that creative block space, you will under-deliver. And I always say you're good as your last project. So low moments on a daily basis, you wake up feeling like quitting, feeling like just giving up your gear, giving up your hard drives, telling clients you've ventured into farming right now or any other craft, but you just keep on pushing. I would say a lot of people who've given up on the craft are the people who didn't have passion. But if you have passion, you meet these daily constant reasons as to why you should give up, but you don't. About gear, I can't leave the house without. I would say my headphones, always with me. And for some weird reason, I don't use them, but I always work with my lapel. Currently, the project I'm working on is a live album recording by a friend of mine called Sue Washira. And I'm loving the process. She's a friend, she's easy to work with, and the husband, Steve. So they've been very easy people to work with. They share their vision, the details of what they want to tee. So it makes it easy to edit and to work with them. So the live recording by Sue Washira, it's currently what I'm working on with them. My creative process looks like something a client would give you a call or reach out in maybe an email, through email. And you just set up a meeting, hear them out. If it's something as, I wouldn't call it small, but for lack of a better word, a birthday graduation, I would go alone. But if it's a documentary, I would go with someone else. Reason being, there are things I would misinterpret from the client. So if I go with a partner, we take notes, come discuss, and then we align on things, and then we come up with a structure of understanding the client more better. So after that, we do probably another meeting with the client to align so that everyone is on the same page. And then part of the pre-production is just looking at various locations, knowing who is doing the interview. Then on that day, we do the shooting. A lot of my friends or people I've worked with tell me I overshoot, and I feel comfortable being labeled as that, being an overshooter. You can never be careful enough. Yeah, so I overshoot. It gives me confidence. And then from there, when it comes to post-production, I just take about 3 days without any gig, without any meetings, just doing the post-production. But for every stage, whether it's pre-production, production, or post-production, food has to be involved. You have to eat, you work, and maybe after even working, you eat again. Gear setting tips that I would love to share. I would say a lot of people fear shadows, but shadows are part of telling a story. So I would say learn about it. Don't just put shadows. If you haven't mastered the craft, you can just light up the subject and kill the shadows. But I think I've met people, but I would say it's not a wrong way of doing it. It's just their interpretation of the craft. Yeah, I would say the craft as a whole is an art. So them as an artist, that is the picture they want to paint. So for me as an artist, either way, I can do without the shadows, I can do with the shadows, but at the end of the day, just paint a picture for your targeted audience. How I came to find out about 2000'S Africa, I was looking for gear. I wasn't really keen on buying, but I just wanted, since I was getting into the craft, I wanted to know where do these gears, where are they bought? So just on my daily routine, walking in town, came across 2000'S Africa. And then I popped in, asked about the prices. At the moment, if you're starting, those prices are discouraging. They're very discouraging because the gear is expensive. You want the best gear. People say start small. You don't want to start small. That's how I came across 2000'S Africa. And then slowly by slowly started getting events, gigs, started saving up. I've bought gear. I've bought a lot of gear from 2000'S Africa. Some I've not bought for myself, but institutions like churches have asked me to step in as a consultant on what gear they should buy for their churches. But I've bought quite some gear for myself. 2 cameras so far. There's a Sony A7 III and Sony A7S. And 2 weeks ago, I bought a G Master 24-70 after so many other things like lapel, lights, backdrops, photography gear, videography gear, and I'm coming for, I think the one gear I really need is boom, and I'm coming for it. For someone who would love to venture into the craft and buy gear and they're thinking the gear is expensive, I would say a lot of clients, they honor quality work. So just work on your post-production, all the processes. Maybe people don't give a keen interest in marketing. They focus on the pre-production and the post-production. I would say work on them thoroughly because clients start seeing the value of your work and they start calling you for the events. You never know who's watching because a lot of, I would say a good number of events that I've done is because someone was watching how I was setting up, how disciplined I was with time, how disciplined I was with the delivery. There's someone who is always watching. Yeah, so just do what you need to do behind the scenes, work on your craft. You never know who's watching. You might get an event that becomes your breakthrough or buys you your first gear, your first camera, lapel, lights, tripod. Yeah. For anyone who's looking to work with me, just buzz me up. Just call me. I'm open to networking with people. So just buzz me up. We can work on something. I'm currently working with a few creatives on different projects, and you learn something from them and you unlearn something that has been a norm for you. Because a lot of people take troubleshooting as part of production, but troubleshooting can go two ways. Troubleshooting can be because you are lazy and now you're troubleshooting, or you actually stumbled on a real issue and now you're trying to troubleshoot. So troubleshooting should not be part of it. It should just be an added advantage, a life skill that you should be having if you're in any craft. Yeah. Cameras Africa, equipping storytellers.